Good morning, YouTube. Old Guy 379 coming at you here with a bit of a raw nerve video. Because it's me, and I am how I am, and I'm an extreme freaking perfectionist, and I'm pretty OCD about what I, how things look and what I do. I was backing into a place last night, and I will have the photo of where I was at in the thumbnail. It's from a different time. I was so mad last night I didn't get a photo of it, but blindside in off the street to a little Asian market, and it's uphill. The road you back up is uphill, and the parking lot is uphill. There's a little retaining wall that sticks out right by their dumpster, and it's on your left side while you're backing to the blind side. So, if you guys know what I'm talking about, when you're blindsiding in, you're not always. Let's just put it this way: I wasn't paying enough attention to the left side, and I pulled a mud flap off the tractor. Now, for those of you that know what my truck looks like, I have a very expensive freaking taillight bar on the back of my tractor. And it's very hard for me to talk about this because I'm mad and I'm embarrassed more than anything. But let's go video this and I'll show you what it looks like. But yeah, I've got one, actually, the guy I'm leased to, he's the one that ordered these. And I'm very fortunate, I guess, in a way. He's ordering a couple different ones for his trailer, and he's got the exact same bar on his trailer. So when his comes in, I can have his other one, at a reduced cost, rather than having to spend twice the money. Now, fortunately, it didn't completely destroy it. And once I put a mud flap on it, to the casual observer, you'll probably never see it. But to me, even once I get it straightened out, it is still going to be that just make you want to vomit, raw nerve, Anyway, let's go take a look at this and survey the damage, and then I'll come right back to you. All right, here we go. Let's go look at this. Like I said, it's not horrible, but it's bad enough. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to do a little walk around here. I checked everything last night when I went to bed, so I just want to kind of make sure that nothing is out of place, But yeah, that's my light bar now. And like I said, once I get it straightened out a little bit, cleaned up, it won't look bad, but it's not up to my standards. So yeah, anyway, let's go walk around the other side here. Let's just go give it a quick look at. I still need to get my bumper lights in. I have those, I just haven't done it yet. We've been sitting all night here with the APU running, so she's a little cold still. Yeah, if you look right here, you can see how the lights on the other side twist in and are dropped down. And like I said, I'm not happy about this. And it takes an extreme amount of, it's not courage. I don't know. I just can't believe I'm even having to share this with you. And then I'm actually sharing it with you because I could very easily just cover that up and never even mention it. But it's just to let you know things do happen. So let's go get back in the truck. It's cold out here. Back inside. So This, like I said, I'm just showing you anybody can do something that damages equipment. Now, when that happened, I could feel it. I was backing in really slow. It was on ice, and I have double locking rear ends and everything, so I could just creep backwards. And because as I said, I'm backing uphill this way, and then blindsiding uphill this way. And you're not really backing into a dock, you're just backing into a spot next to the building in the parking lot. And it was kind of icy, and the trailer was trying to slide. So just not an ideal situation all the way around. And I knew that dumb retaining wall was there, but it was kind of buried in the snow. And I glanced over in my left mirror and went, I'm good. And that was about the time as I was going backwards, I could feel it tug a little bit. And I stopped and rolled ahead about 15 feet. And man, let's just put it this way. I said some words I shouldn't say. And kind of threw a little baby fit. I got out, and after I got straightened around, I got out and picked the mud flap up and threw it at the dumpster that was standing there, and walked around behind in the little reflective metal piece. That was, I was like, you dirty, I just, so frustrating, so embarrassing. And the guy that we delivered to, God bless him, man, he's the coolest guy ever. But he's like, oh, you tore a mud flap off. No big deal. Yeah, I've seen your boss do that. And I went, but it wasn't me. I was so freaking mad. So I get all done, and the guy I'm leased to, I called him, and he just starts laughing. He didn't even, he goes, well, I'm going to come down. He was bringing me some trip envelopes last night. I'm here in Bismarck. And he gets here, and he's flipping through the pictures in his phone, and he shows me the one that he damaged on it, because he's got the exact same light bar on his tractor. It's pretty cool. And it is, yeah, it's pretty mangled. So I don't feel quite as bad. But it's just to say, guys, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Things happen. I've bent, I think, 2 bumpers in my career. The first one, my wife could probably tell the story better than me as far as my reaction to it went. We were at a little frozen meat warehouse in LA, and I don't remember what road it's off of, but when you come in, you literally are underneath the I-10 freeway where you're at. And you pull up past the docks over here on your left, and then when you're ready to go, when they call you, you just, you can back around and back right in. And it's not horrible. It's fairly tight, but, while I was sitting there waiting, there was a pole like 10 feet tall. It was a real skinny, it was like a I-beam fence post. It was really tall, but at the bottom of it was, probably a 4-inch pipe sticking out of the ground, but it was bent. It literally came up out of the ground like this and went like this. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I can see the freaking pole is probably this far from my bumper and my fender. So I start backing up, and my wife's sitting in the passenger seat. And this was with a brand new Freightliner Classic. We were driving company truck for TWT back in 2000. And she's like, you're going to hit that pole? I'm like, I'm not going to hit the pole. I'm fine. I can't see it because the air cleaner's in the way. I can't. It was a really nice truck. Brand new truck. I think it had like 40,000 miles on it. I'm backing up nice and easy, man. I'm just, because I know that pole's there, but I'm also trying, I was pulled in straight, so I'm trying to get everything, I had to bend it back this way to get around the guy that was parked over here. So I was kind of bringing the front end over, and I was watching, man, every second, I'm like watching more of the front than this. And I hear this. I'm like, oh, and I get out. And literally, the bumper, it was a really nice, it was a gull-wing style chrome bumper, so tapered on the bottom. Wasn't anything super fancy, but it literally caught just like a 1/4-inch piece at the very bottom of that. And those Freightliner bumpers were so thin, man, the factory ones. It literally was like this, sticking straight out in front of the truck. So I get back, she's laughing at me, you know, but I'm pissed, man. I am just fuming. And I'm stomping around like a freaking 2-year-old. That's it. I'm done. I shouldn't even be driving anymore. I'm going to quit. I'm just going to call him right now and tell him I'm quitting. And I was dead serious, man. I mean, it let's see, 2000, I've been driving for like 9 years and made it that far without any real incident, you know. I mean, I'd ripped some mud flaps off, just, you know, normal mud flaps, and so anyway, I get backed into the dock, and I'm pushing on that freaking thing, and I can't get it to go back. So I go out, and there's another pole sticking up out there. So as we get done, I have her standing out there, and we're easing up, and I pushed it back as best I could. Called the company in the process and told them, you know, what do I owe you for a bumper? Because I had a safety bonus coming. I didn't want to lose that. And Jeff Benish Steve Tucker was our ops manager at TWT at the time, and I'm talking to Steve, and Steve's laughing at me because he knew how I was, and just an absolute, you know, freaking OCD clean freak perfectionist, and he's laughing at me, going, dude, don't worry, it's nothing, man. He said it's like $400 for that bumper. He said that's not going to affect your safety bonus, and nobody looks down on you, and Jim Williams, the owner, walks by, and Steve goes, hey, Jim. And I can hear him talking. He goes, yeah, Steve, what can I do for you? And he goes, hey, Glenn just bent the bumper on that brand new truck. And he's like, he did? And you just hear the silence for a second. And he goes, well, it's about time he did something that somebody else around here did, or something to that effect. And I was like, oh, just kill me, man. I mean, just stab me in the head with a freaking metal T-post and get it over with. You know, I was just so embarrassed. And this is embarrassing, but I'm glad I can laugh about it. And, you know, this goes back to my maintenance tech tips or whatever, EDC and maintenance tips video, where I told you guys to notch the tops of the mud flaps out. These weren't done that way. And I've been meaning to do it since day one. But I keep looking at it going, it's fine, you know, and they were off, these mud flaps were a little too low to the ground for my liking anyway. But they're far enough from the wheel, you know, but I hit it just right, and it was just on the outside drive tire, so it just caught it, and that's why it twisted it down like it did. Yeah, next time you get a thought you're going to do something like that, Glenn, go get it done. Don't put it off. So I was going to tell you something. Oh man, it was funny there for a second, and I don't remember what I was going to tell you now. Man, but anyway, yeah. So even old guy 379 does dumb things sometimes, guys, and, you know, poke fun at me down in the comments if you want. That's fine. I wish we could put pictures in the comments on YouTube, because I would love to see some of your guys' mistakes too. Maybe make me feel a little better. Yeah, gosh, I had another story I was going to tell you, and it just completely went right out my mind, and because I didn't want to interrupt what I was saying, but yeah. Oh well, I guess. Anyway, we'll get this thing kind of stitched together and thrown up on YouTube, and if I come up with the thought that I had there for 2 seconds that escaped me like a goldfish swimming from one side of the tank to the other, I'll edit it in towards the end. But oh my gosh, it's killing me, man. I am so mad now. I'm just frustrated that I can't remember what I was, and it was funny as crap, because obviously it was funny because I started laughing, but then I thought I better continue because I knew I'd go down another rabbit hole like I do in my videos all the time. Drivers, I just want to say thank you so much again. You know, I know I keep saying it, and I don't want you to think I'm saying it just, you know, gratuitously, and, you know, that I don't really mean it, but I'm very sincere. You know, thank you guys so much. The ones that are subscribed, man, all 1,706 of you or whatever it is, thank you. Tell your friends about my channel. This one here, man, I'm hoping garners lots of views. Even though it's embarrassing and dumb, you know, I've already torn one mud flap off my trailer in this whole ordeal, and another one where it's a blind side back in. And what I'll do, I'll see if I can get I use Premiere Rush for my videos, and sometimes it'll let me add photos. A lot of times I have to actually get on my desktop to do that, where I can add photos stitched into my video. But I'll see if I can find an aerial photo, you know, like off of Google Maps, of this place that we go in Georgia. And it's a little grocery store, and you have to pull up blindside in their driveway, again uphill, and then as you're pulling back and in, you got to go around one of these big curbs. And meanwhile, as you're coming back around on your right side, you got another curb you got to avoid, and they're like 14-inch curbs, 16-inch curbs. They're not short little, you know, just little standard 4 to 6-inch curbs you could kind of roll over if you had to. And I was trying to get back in there here, it's been 3 weeks or so ago, and I had a city bus while I was trying to back in, and it's in a giant shopping mall. There's all kinds of room. This guy could have went around, but he sat there flashing his freaking lights at me while I'm trying to back in. And then I got a guy trying to come out the driveway at the same time I'm trying to back in. I mean, I'm already in the driveway, swinging around, and he's trying to come around me on the right side of I'm pointing over here, and you can't see me pointing, and trying to come around me on the right side of my trailer and I'm just, you know, ended up hitting the curb and ripped the left mud flap off my trailer. Unfortunately, you know, that one didn't do any real damage. It's just a normal mud flap bracket, and I straightened that out, and you can't even tell it was ever bent now. Thank goodness, because that's another one that would just, you know, I've gotten to the point now, other than telling you guys about it, I've forgotten about it. So anyway, drivers, I'm going to tell you this real quick, and because this video is going to end up being long, and you know what, my videos are all right around 20 minutes, so hopefully, you know, it's still short enough to keep your attention. Back in 2005, 2004, in August of 03, I bought a 97 W900L, really nice truck, white and teal green fenders, and I had that truck, it was decked out, man. And I didn't have a fancy light bar on the back, but I had, you know, the big, heavy, wide stainless steel spring-loaded mud flap hangers. And then they sell a light bar that mounts in there underneath that takes 5 of the 2-inch beehive lights. And then I had the little flame bezels that go over the top of the lights, and I had that on each side. And I was delivering to the Orm School down in just south of Flagstaff, Arizona. And it, you know, I had a load of drill pipe they were going to use for fencing. And it just dried up from flooding a couple weeks before, 3 weeks before. So I get in there, and the guy asked me, he said, "Do you think you can get in up here around the corral? You know, because we'd really like to have it there to unload it rather than somewhere else." And I'm like, yeah, you know, and I had a 53-foot step deck and spread axle. And any guys that pull spreads off-road, you know what I'm talking about when I say they don't drag very well in the mud. So I get in there, and I'm like, yeah, I think I can do that, you know, and always wanting to please the customer. Well, that truck didn't have lockers in it or anything, and I got started up in there, and man, I buried the freaking back end. So again, another frustration moment, you know, and we're having to drag the truck backwards a little bit because we got to get the trailer. They came with a big freaking loader, man, and they just grabbed the trailer basically and just kind of picked it up and moved it over a little bit, but they had to pull it backwards to do it. And then I was able to continue on. But when we did, before I could get my head straight and roll my mud flaps up over, because I had rubber mud flaps on it, before I could roll them up over the top and throw a bungee around them to get them off the ground, we were just back there trying to get the truck moved. Drug both of them mud flaps off of there, ran over my brand new light bars, my new lights, ripped the hangers off, and I mean, I don't mean like just pulled them off, dude, it just freaking destroyed them. And I was sick, because I had, I don't know, right around at that time, like $450 wrapped up in them stupid mud flaps and hangers and lights and everything. And I call my wife, and she, again, laughing at me. She thinks this crap's funny for some reason, you know, until she sees the bill for it, you know, obviously. But she's laughing at me like, you know, but it's because that stuff is so rare, you know, that's literally, I can count the number of times I've done something like that, like on one hand. And it's so just, man, it just makes you so mad. It just, you know, just creams you. You just feel like the lowest of the low. And then I see some of these guys' trucks where it's missing like half the body panels off of it, and they're driving it like no big deal. You know, they're like, I don't care. It's going up down the road making me money. I don't care what it looks like. And it just kills me, you know. I like driving a nice looking truck. Even when I drove a Cascadia for Ryder, you know, that truck was always clean. We'd ordered it with the Alcoa Ultra Bright wheels or whatever they are that have the permanent finish on them, and you know, I made sure and kept it clean and shiny as best we could. Ryder didn't want us doing a lot of work to them, but you know, that truck always looked good, and it like I said, it just kills me, man. I hate it, and I can't believe I'm actually doing this video. So you guys are seeing something that I normally would hide from everybody because I'm so embarrassed by it. But I wanted to put this out because it just shows that I'm human. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And I don't judge anybody, you know, except maybe the guy that's running around with half the body panels missing off his truck. Stay away from that guy. Don't let him back in next to you in a truck stop. Just kidding. No, I'm serious. Don't let him back in next to you at a truck stop. Guys, take care, man. I appreciate you, every one of you. Again, like I said, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for making this channel better than it was when it started. Be safe out there, everybody. We'll catch you on the flip side, and keep the greasy side down, the shiny side up, or whichever way, and do it to it like Pruitt used to do it to it. If you know, you know. See ya.